Welcome back to the Football Experience, episode 27. This is a podcast that details a life of a sport person, be it a player, a coach, or an administrator. In today's segment, we have the current UB Kicks head coach, Mathogonono Victor Mokosi. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mulifi Kenemiaoben, and I'm our host tonight. Mr. Mokosi, let me welcome you.
Thank you, sir.
I'm a bit curious. You're called Mokosi. Are you from Ramutswa?
No, sir. I'm from Khabani.
Okay.
Yes.
So what was the relation there? Because I know most of the Mokosi now, they originate from Ramutswa.
Yes, there's a relation between people from Khabani and Ramutswa. They're all Balite. And then the Balite moved from Ramutswa to Khabani. Some of them migrated there, but originally they were from Ramutswa.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And I've never actually heard people calling you with any nicknames, man. What are your nicknames?
My nickname is just from Mathogonono. They say Clocks.
Okay.
Yes, yeah.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
There should be some nickname, man.
Yeah.
Whatsoever. When you're growing up, was it Clocks only?
That's some, and then it depends on where you are,
yes,
and then who you are interacting with.
Yes.
So I'll leave it to that. Yeah.
Okay, now take us through you growing up, your early childhood days. Where did you grow up and your family composition?
I grew up in Khabani. I studied at Khasiko Primary, and then I also did Khabani Primary, Khabani Junior. Yes, and then came to Gaborone. I did my high school at Naledi Senior, and then from Naledi Senior I came to UB. Yes, and then I also got to join UB Sport.
I see.
Yes.
But I want the young Clocks, man, during his early days. Hudi alana
Khabani is a village, so Kidukotla, you know what. So I grew up in Hos Laledi, and then from Hos Laledi went to now nuclear family. We went to stay in Rasuku stroke Herero, yeah.
And what are you doing as you're growing up during those days?
Just like any young lady, you play in the streets, you know, play with cars. Yeah, just normal childhood. Yes.
Did you play football? Did you bet or something like that?
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
We did that. Yes, we did play, but I wasn't good enough.
I can see, because that's why you're not actually going to this match. I could see that guys were actually bullying you.
Yes, but I enjoyed. Yes, but I did enjoy. Yes.
So were you the one who always had money to bet?
No. Good enough, to make it to elite level, but for the street, I was good enough.
Oh, you're good enough.
Yeah.
Take us through that now in terms of your playing at school, at primary, at senior, and what position were you playing?
I was a defender. Yes, all from childhood, growing up, I've always played as a defender. Yes.
And what are the best memories during that time where you say, no, man, I remember this other game where I performed extremely well, like Makili Mfanao?
I'd say one team who were playing this constituency tournament. When I still remember that tournament, the team did well. It did from the ward level to constituency level. Yes, I think nearly went through to the last stages of the constituency games. Yes.
And in Khabani, I know there are various teams that actually play formal football. You never played for those teams?
Yes, I never made the cut. I did try my luck with Jet Fighters. Yes, but I never made the cut. But I also knew why I didn't make the cut. I had the heart, but the skills were not good enough. Like I've said, yes, yeah. Yeah.
So it meant now, with that now you developed the love for coaching than to be a player.
Yes, I would say that because I had ideas, good ideas that I can't implement myself in the field, but maybe I can share with Molf, or Molf, let's do this as a player, and then Molf, because he's talented enough, then he's able to implement that. So I said, I love the game. What can I do to share this and then stay in the game? Yes.
And growing up in Khabane, you also guide me, because I know, yes, there's Jet Fighters, there's also Khabane Santos. You know, how was it growing around that area? And did you like wish you could play for Khabane Santos? How did you guys, engage and actually look at Khabane Santos?
Yes, I mean, I'll say there's Khabane Santos, and then there's also Khabane United.
Yes.
I think those are, maybe if I'm right, maybe I'll need to be corrected, but I think those are the oldest teams in the village. And then there are also teams that went higher. I mean, Santos went to the league, and then Khabane United went as far as first division. Yes, you grow up knowing about those teams, and then you follow them. You want to see them do well, and then there are also Jet Fighters, and then there's also Maritani Lions, which also play in the lower division in Kwening, and then Jet Fighters plays in Gaborone. Yeah, so those teams you grow up following. People do follow depending on which side of the village you come from. Yes.
Do you want to say, maybe looking at how you grew up and where you are saying maybe you're not good enough, do you believe there were enough development structures in Khabane to actually elevate you guys' football?
We always wish for more. Yes, I still believe a lot could have been done better. Yes, so that you can tap on the entire talent that's there and then help it reach a higher level. Yes, we always wish for more. Yes.
Now let's talk about Mokhosi now's football trajectory. But before that, let's talk about you now in terms of your education, primary, junior school. Like you said, you also went to Naledi. Now you came to UB. When did you now start to develop this coaching ideology to say, I want to venture into coaching?
I'd say a lot happened when I was in UB, because in UB there's a lot of sport activities ongoing, and then when I got here, my passion grew. Also going out to watch games, and then I was like, where can I start? And then in 2013, I registered for my coaching course, preliminary. And then beginning of 2014, I was like, now I started my coaching. I volunteered to be part of UB Kicks technical team, and then I joined in as an assistant coach in 2014. I've also worked with Tlokweng under 15 ladies team, that is from 2015 until 2019. And then I also do volunteer my time to work with Dipsi Suluan Football Academy whenever I have time, but I started working with them in 2017. So whenever I'm available, I do pass by. But now with Tlokweng school sports on break, on hold, yeah. Yeah.
And who do you say actually, held you along the way? And who did you idolize during that time?
Idolize. I don't want to say idolize. Yes, but once you go into a particular field, you get to find more information, research, follow different people, see how they got to be successful. I mean, I did look into Arrigo Sacchi. Yes, and then read, and may he so rest in peace, Coach Ted Dumitro. We did interact, had interactions, he shared his ideas, yes, and then follow all elite coaches globally. Yes, I mean, I don't even need to state specific coaches, but all of them. Yes,
as you're pursuing that, did it occur at the back of your mind to say, I want to be like this other guy?
Not necessarily be like the other guy. I mean, I've got to be myself.
Yeah.
Yes, but yes, I want to learn from this guy. I want to learn from Molf. I want to learn from Koti. I want to learn from Stan. I want to learn from Pito. I want to learn from Pep, from Klopp, from Simo. You want to learn from that, and then, but still, you've got to be genuine and then be yourself. Yes.
Let's now talk about your journey from 2013, 2014. How did you now settle yourself in being a UB Kicks assistant coach? How was the working environment? Was it something that you thought, is the way you thought, or there were some shocks there?
I mean, if you've been around our sport, you won't be shocked when you go into environment. I mean, for my learning, I would say the environment was conducive. Yes, we had a mentor who was coaching the men's team, and then he was also taking care of the women's needs team. Yes, and then when I got there, I found Alex Malete as the head coach, and I was assisting him. I would say he created a conducive environment for my learning, sharing his experiences. I mean, when I got there, he was already 2 years in, and then he has done a lot of work. So he was sharing experiences. This is how to go. This is the way, So I would say the environment was conducive for my learning to grow as a coach, because I was at elementary stage. Yes, so he took me through, honestly, and then also Mr. Mtlagodi, who was the men's head coach by then, and then he looked after us, He'd come, "You guys, how are you doing? Where are you struggling? Share your ideas," and then he would guide us after bringing our ideas to him. Yes.
And then, growing up as a young boy in Khabane, and now, voila, you come and you coach the ladies. How did you adjust yourself to that situation?
Yes, like I was saying, I came in, I don't know them, they don't know me, and then, but we still need to connect. But how are we going to connect? I've got to learn them, learn who they are, and then, you go through phases, they also learn who you are, and then they accept you, you accept each other, and then, yes, you find you find the balance. Yes, yes. So what's most important is to learn who are these people, and appreciate them. Yes. So and then they'll also do the same thing. Yes, and then I think that's how it happened. Yes.
Let's talk about that. Finding the balance. You're a man. You're coaching women. What are the fundamental challenges that you say, hey, I didn't expect 1, 2, 3, but this is what I found here, and this is how I actually addressed it?
Yes, with coaching women, I'd say, yes, women are different from men, and then they experience different challenges. Like I said, you've got to learn who they are, their behaviors, how they want to be treated, how they want to be spoken to, how they take instructions. I've also worked with guys, gents, yes, but we will also get into that later. Yes, and then from there, also create an environment where they're able to bring up their concerns. You've got to be open to them. Yes, in that way, it kind of makes it possible to have a cordial working relationship. Yes.
And in that cordial relationship now, how difficult or how is it now to actually deal with women issues, if you know what I'm saying, like women issues where they have, how women are, they will not come for training for the whole month, and how do you address things like that?
Yes, when it comes to addressing any issue, even with men, what's most important is objectivity and communication. If Molf does something wrong, you've got to show Molf why that thing is not right. Objectively, not where Molf feels this is subjective, this is an attack, and then also communication is important. If you're working with people, you've got to know their whereabouts, and then they've got to also know how it's important for them to communicate their whereabouts. I mean, if you see something happen, it has got to be addressed. You know, you can't turn a blind eye. And then also what's important is to have those uncomfortable conversations with them to solve problems. Otherwise, you will not leave problems unsolved. And then the more you solve problems, which is not easy, but the more you are used that you are supposed to come up with solutions, and then they also become part of finding solutions. Yes. So yes.
Yeah. And let's talk about your journey with UB. I want to believe it's both at the Botessa level and also with the league now. So what's the difference between the two? You know, coaching the Botessa team and also coaching UB Kicks now in the league.
The difference isn't much. I mean, basically, it's still the same team. It's only that during Botessa tertiary games, you play with only students, and then in the league, you also play with non-students, which could be former students, and then students from other tertiary institutions, or non-students, people who are working. Yes, so I would say that is the only difference. But in terms of coaching principles, you know, objectives of the game, that still remains the game. And then, yes, sometimes you integrate some who necessarily don't play for UB, either UB Kicks or institution, and then it's just integration, because they also train with us in preparation for those games. So yes, so there isn't much difference. And then what is different could be the competition itself. I mean, when you play at tertiary level, the resistance is not as high as in the league. Yes, I mean that could be said to be the only major difference. Yes.
And talking about that difference now, how much of an edge does it give UB in the Botessa games because of their involvement in the league?
It does. I mean, in a season they play 15 or to 20 games. Yes, and then it gives them a lot of edge. I mean, you have solved so many match problems, and then maybe you go and compete with another students who maybe that is their first competitive games, and then you've played so many competitive games, you've made mistakes, you've corrected, and then I mean that's experience. You've got so many match experiences. Yeah.
Let's talk about your success. You know, ever since you coached both the Botessa team and also the UB Kicks.
Yes, I mean, since I joined in 2014, the team has won all the championships that are there in Botessa.
How many are they?
I mean, from 2014 to 2023, and then you minus the COVID period.
So you got everything there?
Yes, yeah. So, yes, and then the first 2 years as an assistant,
yeah.
And then the other years I was the coach.
And you were still getting everything?
Yes.
So you are loaded with medals and trophies, gold?
Yes, we do have.
So the league actually gives you guys an edge?
Yes, yeah.
And how many championships are there? Are we talking 7, 5, 6?
Yes, I mean from 2014 to now it's 9 years, and then I think we just
minus two.
Yeah, that makes it 7. Yeah.
Oh, guys, this guy has all the championships ever since he got into UB. Since 2014, as the UB Kicks coach, you know, they use that team. Maybe say 70% of that team they play into this Botessa. And I remember there was that Cooks, was it Cooksa?
Yes.
How did you fare during that time?
In Cooksa game, that's Southern African colleges competition. Yes, we were competing in the SADC region. Yes, we got position 2, yes. Behind South Africa. Yes, we got. Yeah.
How many times did you compete in that competition?
In 2018, it was my first time. Yes, and then there was another one in Malawi, I think. That one, yes, that one we didn't go. Yes, but I was also not part of the team. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I also want to understand the transition now. You know, in terms of you coaching the UB Kicks, to the Botessa team and also being part of the Cooksa team. What is the difference amongst those three levels?
I'll say with the team, the institutional team, which is UB, it's a club, right? Yeah. And then when you go to Cooksa team Botswana, that's more like a national team, university national team. Yeah. Yes, that is the difference, which means you get to select players from different university locally, and then make one team that will go represent the country.
And yes. How easy or difficult is it? Because you are a champion, like who else can beat you here? Like you will be like, no, I need to bring all my team players here.
Yeah, I mean, with selection, you've got also to be objective. I mean, if Molf is my player, and then Thabiso is better than Molf, and then he's from Views, then during national team selection, then Molf is good to know that Thabiso makes the cut, you know. Yes, I mean, otherwise, because now you're going to suffer when it comes to results. Molf might be my player at my team, at my club, but Molf is not going to get me the result against Namibia, for instance, while Thabiso from Boost can do that.
Yes. Now let's talk about maybe funny stories that you once encountered with the ladies, because I know with Chens there are so many stories, man. Can you share with us the funny stories that you had with ladies?
Funny stories. I mean, fun to me might not be fun to you, but I mean, they're good human beings. Fun to be around. You know, I mean, just going to training, it's fun on itself. Yeah. So I don't have any specific story, crazy story.
Who's the craziest teammate who usually play prank on other kids during the team training or camps?
I think currently I'll say Susan. Yes, he always plays around. And then there's another kid who came in, who joined us. I think he's going to be a naughty kid, a good kid but naughty. Yeah. Yes, but Susan plays around with her teammates. He jokes around, you know.
What funny story can you remember from what Susan did?
Susan did. I can't recall very well now. It might take me time to try to recall that story. But Susan, Molf is having a bad day. She'll shower Molf with water. you know, during the day we remind people to bring water. Normally you're never reminded to bring water. Why today? But because she knows there's someone's birthday. But yeah, for now I'll say.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's talk about now the challenges or the hardships that you've encountered as a coach, and you say, Molf, here, it was very difficult, but I managed to deal with this situation.
I mean, with coaches specifically, the biggest challenges is to win, and then for the past 2 seasons, we didn't do as we have wished to. We didn't do very well. And then what was important was to keep the team afloat. Yes, I think those were one of the most challenging seasons we have ever had in terms of winning. We're not getting the result. We're fighting relegation. Yes, now the team has got to believe that they're going to survive this. Yes, they did it the past season. Now this season again, they're in it. You're not getting out of this. Yes, but now you've got to ensure and assure the players that they're good enough, and then they'll make it. Yes, I would say that was a major challenge in the field.
And talking about that period alone, very much challenging. I understand that resilience helped you, but where would you say you found as a problem in the team?
I can't say there was a particular problem. I mean, we were not winning. The problem was that we were not winning, and then we were not scoring goals. But why was that all happening? I mean, also our competitors got better. Yes, our competitors were better than us. We had to be honest also, so that we can be able to deal with that. We can't ignore that this guy is better than us, but we are competing against it. Because if we think you're not better than us, it means you're not going to prepare well for you. Yes, I mean teams got to invest on good players. So all the teams that invested on good players were doing better than us. You know, they got players from us. Yes, so yes, we got to lose certain players to other teams, which is normal in football. Yes, but now major challenge was that can you make immediate replacement, because competition is ongoing. Replacement might be someone who is very good enough, same as them, but they don't yet have their experience. Now you've got to take them through until they're ready, but they might never get ready for you, because once they're ready, they might leave, be recruited by another team. Yes.
And talking about that challenge now, which now it's more financial than anything. How do you keep your players motivated throughout the season without, incentivizing them?
Yes, what's important is for your group, your players, to understand why they're there, and then two, what's in for them in football. You can't only have players thinking about football. Yes, they've got lives. They've got to take care of their lives. So it depends. The strategy is your recruitment. You've got to have your players doing something about their lives, coming to training from work, from class, from school. So in that way, you are able to keep your group, because they're not get to be enticed, maybe saying this remuneration, and then they've got also to understand where we are in terms of football as a country, locally, that we do advise them that you can't rely on football. We are very far from that. So, and then they're only playing football for a very short period of time, and then they're also in football to create a path for generations that maybe will come 30 years down the line. Maybe by then will be better, but that role is just to create a path for generations way behind them. Just like them, there've been generations who played in far worse conditions, and then now for them it's still not good, but it's better than from the previous generations. So that has got to be clear, very clear. They've got to understand all those things. Yes.
And talking about that, I'll call it an influx, of people who promise these kids this money. Is that sustainable from where you are seated, and what advice do you have for these kids?
It's not sustainable. It's not sustainable. I mean, even those who are being rewarded, which is better than that, nothing. Yes, but even I'm certain that doesn't sustain the expenses, livelihood. They've got to find jobs. They've got to go to school. They've got to study. Those who are already in business, they should continue focusing on their business. Yes, and then just find time for football when it's time for football. You can't have a kid just doing nothing during the day, just waiting to go for training. We can't. So we've got to encourage them to study, to work, find jobs, do something. Yes.
And with that summation now, would you say our ladies football in Botswana is at a level where we can say it's professional?
No. In my opinion, I think we are far from that. Yes, we are very, 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 very far from that, and then we shouldn't maybe. How do I put it? We are. I'll say we are far from that.
Overproject ourselves.
Yeah, because now we won't be being honest with ourselves. Yes, you've got to be honest with ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And there's been a suggestion a few months ago in saying that maybe now we need to reduce the field size. We need to reduce the goal posts. We need to reduce the size of the ball for ladies as compared to men. And this was after the World Cup. What's your opinion on that?
Yes, that could be right, and then that could be wrong. Yes, and then I think maybe the research is at elementary stage. Yes, yeah, but then after thorough results, then it would be something to consider. But yes, it's partly true because all the dimensions for the field, for football, because the men started first.
Yeah.
And then that's how they were determined by for men. Yes, so that is. But now we need to find out, are they suitable for women also? And then if they are not, then we've got to make suitable ones. And then yes, that's true. And then, but this is something else. There was a topic. A question came up that why women footballers get to be injured more often than men. Yes, and then one of the responses was that unlike boys, girls they get to participate in sport when they're a little bit older. Then when they grow up, they have lesser athleticism than the boys. Then which result in them being prone to injuries.
Yes.
Yes, in comparison to men. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Now let's talk about the prospect of Botswana football, or Botswana women football. How far do you see it? Do you believe it has grown, and what are our future prospects there?
Okay, from when I started to follow women football, I would say 2013-14. There's a lot of been improvement in terms of technical ability of our players. Yes, technically we have grown immensely, and then administratively there's been improvement. Yes, but in other areas there hasn't been. Administratively it does involve finances. The leagues have been playing without any financing. Yes, but technically in the field, players are able to apply themselves better than 9 years ago or 10 years ago. That's my opinion from my observations. Someone can argue, but from 2013, we were able to qualify for a major tournament recently, and then we were able to do better than the previous years in COSAFA. I think we went to as far as the final. Yeah. Yes. So, but even the display at the field is better than 9 years ago. For me, that's growth. When you see how players' understanding of the game now and back then, that's growth. When you see mass participation, that's growth. We really need mass participation on women football, and then because with mass participation, you're able to really pick the talent. But if we have a few to choose from, it's really difficult to find that talent and then to even sharpen it. Yeah.
Now that you actually spoke to that, in your assessment, when do you think you can say, after this so many years, this is when I would say the Botswana women football has actually reached the desired level? And that desired level, how would you define it?
Okay, we are playing at the regional level, which is good, and then I still think we still have to play there for more years before we can even think about having a national league. We get to stay there for some years. While we are there, teams are growing, teams are improving. Then after improving, teams numbers are increasing. Then we can even think about the national league, and then because also the national league comes with its demand. Right now we are playing in Gaborone. It's convenient for teams in Gaborone. They're just moving. We can even play in one place. But as teams, we don't have good finances. For me to be able to play in Sorowe this weekend, go to Mahala, pay the other one, come back, go to Jwaneng, we're still far from that. And then once we reach a state where teams are stable financially, administratively, they're at par, then we can consider going into a national league. We don't need to rush. We just have to go through all the stages. Yes, and then most importantly, we've got to keep playing. We've got to keep playing. There's I think some years ago I came across a study regarding football. You are saying success, in football at elite level or wherever, it's attributed. 70% is attributed to technical expertise or technical ability of the player. So, and then the other 30% is to admin and finance. So what's important, and I think all the other things can find us on the way, your finance, your strong admin, they can find us along the way. So I'll say we've got to keep playing. Yes.
And my question would be, what would it take us to be at that sustainable level that you alluded to? What are the things that we need to keep in check and also keep in place to reach that level?
Yes, I mean, admin is important. Improving the product. And then we can only improve the product by being at the field, by playing. I mean, if you are to entice someone to come and invest in our sport, we need investors. But what are we doing to entice them to come on board? We've got to do well. I mean, a lot of attention was diverted to women football after qualification. Now if we do that again, what will it do? We get to keep enticing people to come on board. Yeah, so for now, let's improve coaching. Let's improve admin bit by bit. And then for now, I don't want to go much into finances because currently we need finances, but the game is ongoing at the moment, and then for sure they're going to come with investors that we are trying to entice. Yes. So I think those things can be kept going, and then eventually, I mean, even if when people come on board and then they find us that we have the fundamentals right, it wouldn't cause a lot of damage on the organization, on the structures of the teams, football as a whole also. Yes, it should be just to have them tag along and then we go. Unlike when they come in, we've got no idea of what we are doing. Whatever that's coming in is likely to collapse immediately. So yes, I think we're at the foundation stage, so we've got to ensure we keep refining the fundamentals, sharpening up and then and prepare. Yeah.
I got you. On the lighter side, I don't know how you guys go about it, and I know in men's football, this thing maybe it's a parka where they do these beliefs. What is going on?
I'll talk about my team.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, we prepare for games and then we just pray and then we go play.
Well, what about the other teams? Have you seen any infiltration of these things?
There's talk, but I haven't seen anything with my eyes. Someone will say this team A does 1, 2, 3, but hella specifically, or you'll see someone doing things you're not sure about what they are doing, like maybe it's just a match routine.
So are you actually saying there's that infiltration as well in women football?
There isn't much, to be honest. I'll be lying.
But there is.
Yes, people say there is, but there isn't much to that. That's yes, but I haven't seen much, to be honest. Maybe if they're doing this discreet, it's just there, you can see it. Yes, but I can't deny that it's there. Yes.
Earlier on, you alluded, very strongly to players, firming up on education. But I also want you now to also firm up on that in terms of your advice on players on education and sport. What is your advice on players? What should they do first? Should they choose football as a form of employment, or should they go to school to get educated first before they venture into football? What's your advice around that?
Yes, my advice is to go to school. Yes, and then if we can strike balance between football and your academics, then stick to academics. We are promoting dual career where you are studying and then you're also doing sport because you are talented. And then none of them has got to suffer. It's got to ensure that you do well in this and you do well in this. But if your sport is to make your academics suffer, then you've got to stop sport and then focus on your academics. Yes, because anything can happen, in terms of sport. You can stop playing anytime, whether due to health reasons, And then where are you going now? But with education, you can work, still be employed while on medication, my friend. That's very, 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 very important. And once you have your education, with football, with sport, eventually you stop being competitive. That's natural. We all reach there. You can't pass the way you used to pass. You can run after that. Now after playing, your body is aching. You can't recover after a match. You've got to stop. But now with your education, you get wiser as you grow older. Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Mathogonono Talks, Victor Mokgosi, the current UB Kicks head coach. He started with this club in 2014, and he's still with the same club. And he was very honest, open, and he's actually saying the ladies' football, yes, of course, it has the potential, but we need to be aware of our ambitions. We need to be honest about ourselves. Our players need to go to school, get educated before, and they should never fall for this fallacy of saying our ladies football is actually professional. At this level, it's not yet where it's supposed to be. That was it for tonight. Until we meet again next time. Bye-bye.